Now we make our way to the final act of Romeo and Juliet, and we're going to start this act with a bit of bad news to Romeo. So Romeo in Mantua, exiled from Verona, he enters the stage alone, and he says, "If I may trust the flattering truth of sleep," so he's been dreaming, "my dreams presage some joyful news at hand. My bosom's lord sits lightly in his throne, and all this day an unaccustomed spirit lifts me above the ground with cheerful thoughts." So he had a good dream that has been making him feel in a happy mood. He says, oddly enough, "I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think, and breathed such life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor. Ah me, how sweet is love itself possessed, when but love's shadows are so rich in joy." So he dreamed a dream that he was dead, which has been making him a little bit of philosophical, thinking a little bit, but Juliet came and kissed him, and he was brought back to life. Maybe a little bit of foreshadowing there. So Romeo's man, his servant, Balthazar, enters, and he says, "News from Verona, how now, Balthazar? Dost thou not bring me letters from the friar?" So Friar Lawrence is supposed to bring him news, and remember as well, Friar Lawrence is supposed to send Romeo news of this plan to fake Juliet's death. So then he asks, "How doth my lady? Is my father well? How fares Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she is well." So he asks twice about Juliet and says, you know what, if she is well, then life is okay. And Balthazar says, well, she is well then, and nothing can be ill because her body is asleep in Capulet's monument. So he says she has been killed, or she has died here, and nothing more wrong can happen to her. Kind of a strange way to deliver the news. He saw that she was laid to rest in the grave, and presently took post it to tell you, so he came to tell her the news, and he says, "Sorry, sir, pardon me for bringing these ill news, since you did leave it for my officer. That was my job, to bring you news." Romeo says, "Is it so? Then I defy you, stars." So he's cursing fate and says, "Thou knowest my lodging. Get me ink and paper and hire post horse. I will hence haste." So he's going to write some letters. He's going to hire some horses, and he's going back to Verona. He says, "I do beseech you, sir, please be patient. You look pale and wild. You look crazy as heck, and do import some misadventure. It looks like you're going to do something bad. Thou art deceived." No. I'm fine. Leave me and do the thing I bid thee to. Are you sure you don't have any letters from the friar, right? Like, you have no news? And Balthazar says, "No, I don't, my good lord." And Romeo says, "No matter, get thee gone, hire the horses, and I'll be with you right away. I'll be with thee straight." Balthazar excerpts, and his first line, all alone, says, "Well, Juliet, I will be with you tonight. Let's see for means, O mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. Let's see what crazy things crazy men can do. I remember an apothecary, and apothecary is something, a store that would sell potions and herbs and other things kind of like that. And hereabout he dwells, which late I noted, in tattered weeds with overwhelming brows, culling of simples." So basically, he's talking about, it looked like a rundown shop. Meager were his looks, so he looked like he was poor. Shape misery had worn him to the bones. It looked like he had suffered a lot. His body didn't look great. And it says, "In his needy shop, a tortoise hunt, an alligator stuffed, and other skins of ill-shaped fishes, and about his shelves a beggarly account of empty boxes." So basically, he looked poor, he looked like he wasn't selling a lot of stuff, and he looked like he could use some money. And then Romeo says that if a man ever did need a poison, whose sale is present death in Mantua, so you can't sell poison in Mantua, or else you'll be executed. Here lives a Catliff Wrench would sell it to him. So basically he says, this looks like a guy that would sell me poison if I need it. And this needy man must sell it to me. As I remember, this should be the house. So he's been out walking, searching for this apothecary again. And he says, being a holiday, the beggar shop is shut. So it's closed. And then he starts pounding on the door and yells for the apothecary to come out. The apothecary enters and says, "Who calls so loud?" Romeo says, "Come hither, man. I see that thou art poor. I know you are a poor guy. Here is some money, 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison, such soon speeding gear as will disperse itself through all the veins, that the life-weary tiger may fall dead, and that the trunk may be discharged of breath, as violently as hasty powder fighter doth hurry from the fatal Canon's womb. So basically saying, I need a poison that will kill me super quick. And the Apocryphy says, I have that poison, such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any he that utters them. So obviously I don't want to die. It's death penalty if I sell it to you. And he says, art thou so bare and full of wretchedness and fierce to die? So like, you're so poor and low that you're afraid of death. I can see that you are starving. Famine is in thy cheeks. Need and operation starveth in thy eyes. Contempt and beggary hangs upon the back. I know that you're a beggar. I know that you need money. The world is not your friend, nor the world's law. So the world and the law, it hasn't helped you to this point. So you know what? Let's not be poor and break it. So if the law hasn't been good to you, break the law, and then you can have some money. So he holds out the money, kind of trying to entice him. And the Apocryphy says, my poverty, but not my will consents. Because I am poor, because I need the money, I will sell you this poison, not because I want to. And then he says, Romeo, I pay thy poverty and not the will. I pay you because you're poor, not because you want me to buy this. Romeo gets the poison, and the Apocryphy says, put this liquid in any you will, and drink it off. Even if you had the strength of 20 men, it would kill you straight away. So Romeo gives the Apocryphy his money, and he says, there is thy gold, worst poison to men's souls, doing more murder in this loathsome world than these poor compounds that thou mayst not sell. So basically he's saying, money is worse poison in this world. Money is worse for men's souls than poison itself. That has sold me none. I sell thee poison. So he's saying, you know what, I actually have given you poison. You have not given me poison. That might be Romeo's way of trying to assure the Apocryphy that he won't tell anyone. He says, buy some food, put some flesh on your bones. And then he finally says the last words, to Juliet's grave, for there I must use thee. So he's going to go to the Capulet grave where Juliet is buried, and he's going to take this poison and die alongside her.